What do you specialize in?
The second show that Carol and I have shown together, we did first in 2001, when shortly after I joined the gallery, and Carol wasn't a member, but I invited her. And the piece that we're looking at here, two pieces, are ones that we did for a show in 2007, The Pacifist Potential, which was a show about the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. And my piece, which is the board with nails in it, when I first showed it in 2007, the nails went about halfway down the length. And what the nails stand for are all of the U.S. military deaths in Iraq and Afghanistan. And since that time, I've continued pounding, and they're now on the board 6,630 nails.
I just noticed there's a nut in there.
And there are knots. There are several knots up higher, and I'm approaching a couple down here. I found when I started to pound into the first knot up there that the nails bent. You can't pound into a knot. Two watercolors that I made a year ago in the fall, and they're a new direction for me in that they both involve symmetry. That they have symmetrical axes this way and across here, and the one on the right is actually was the first in the series. And with these, I was just struck looking at Carol's piece we were just looking at of Carol's. There's with the shadows, but also how the forms interweave and overlap. That there's a very similar effect going on in this, and this painting, these two are the same composition, though I treated them differently. They're both 4 layers of spiraling ovals, and one of the layers.
Pencil marks there?
Those are, they were originally pencil marks, but what we're actually looking at is a digitized drawing that was printed onto watercolor paper, and then I watercolored it. So there's one pattern that begins here, another pattern that begins down here, another one here, and another one here, and they're the same pattern that extend across the whole image, but they've been flipped. Each layer has been flipped in a different orientation. And with this one, I painted the ovals. Again, you can see these little tiny oval forms here, and as they get darker, it means that there are 2 or 3 or 4 layers of overlapping. And with this one, the gray one, what I was painting each layer, on each layer, I was painting the negative spaces between the ovals. So you can see up in here with this, that light gray is the space between these 6 ovals. And I extended that all the way across, and then I did the same here and here. So again, it's 4 layers of tone of this gray. The painting is called Symmetrical 4-Layered Ovoid Lattices #1. And it's actually the same composition as the 2 watercolors that I was just talking about a minute ago. Again, it has symmetry here and across here. And with this, I enlarged the digitized image slightly and printed it out onto gesso canvas. We have a big digital printer that can print an image a little bit wider than this, and as long as you want. And with this one, it's oil paint, and I approach the oil paintings a little differently. With the watercolors, I do 1 layer and paint it completely. With the oil paintings, I have all the colors mixed up, and I start in the top and I move across. I want the paint to have a physicality. If I could make my paintings as thick as Mario's paintings, I'd be most satisfied, but I can't quite get the paint to do that yet. But the kind of tactile quality that the paint has is something that I want the paintings to have. So there's a kind of tension between the physicality of the paint and this illusion of transparency. In any case, this composition is the same, and there's a pink painting over on the distant wall that's also the same composition. And with the gray-green painting, I painted the oval, each layer I painted the ovals, and then with the pink painting, I was painting the spaces in between the ovals, so it's a negative space. It was pointing to a minute ago. And
You can say something. You can say something.
well, I guess in this case here, you can see maybe more clearly how this pattern here is then repeated, is flipped and repeated over here, but it also happens up here with this yellow-green and over here with the orange. So these are the four places in which the spiraling ovals begin and before the was pointing to a minute ago. These watercolors, I think, represent something that that I'm doing in the oil paintings, and that each of them have a different colored field or background color. The light pink in this one, and the mint green in this. And I didn't say, but in the oil paintings, the background color, the light green in the gray painting and the pink in this other painting, those colors are mixed into all of the colors of the layers. And so with this, the pink and the mint green is the first layer put down, and it affects all the other colors that come after it. The orange layer, the magenta layer, the kind of blue-violet layer, and this is, I think, a gray layer, that color is coming up through. And the same thing with the mint green one. In this one, for some reason, there's one really dominant layer, and that's the blue one, which was actually the last one that went on. But with this, you can really see the arcs of the negative spaces pretty dramatically. That seems to be that blue one seems to be very dominating. So even as much as I plan these things out, the compositions, and make decisions about the color, I can never predict how the paintings how the compositions are going to actually work, what's going to be,
How the colors react to
how the colors react to it, that kind of thing. The watercolor and oil painting on either side of me are, again, the same composition. They're 3 layers of spiraling ovals, and with this one, there are actually 3 different drawings that I superimposed before in the computer, and then printed out on paper. One layer, the spirals originate here, the red, and extend out here. The blue spirals extend out, and here the yellow one does. So they're coming in from 3 different directions. I made the drawing on paper, on a sheet of paper that's, say, 11 by 16 inches. Then I scanned it with a scanner into Photoshop, and then I didn't differentiate the color of them with this. With the oil paintings, I'll make the outlines of each of the levels a different color, but with this it was all one color, all 3 levels. But in any case, this is the same composition enlarged. So again, the spaces between the ovals here is orange, and this layer, between the layers, between the ovals here is this dark blue, and over here it's this magenta. And again, I'm creating an illusion of transparency rather than actually using watercolor transparency.
Well, the orange looked like fall leaves to me.
There is something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's all 6-sided shapes, so it actually it kind of connects back to the six-point stars. But there is something kind of leaf-like about it. And like I said in the other oil paintings, this light blue, which is the space behind all these levels, is actually added into all the colors. So this was a much oranger color before I added the blue, the blue to it, and the magenta was also redder.
Everybody's
So how do you like your show together? This is your third show together?
This is our second show.
Second.
Right.
So how do you like it compared to your previous one?
The previous one, we alternated our work also, and it was interesting. And I think it's a nice way to show the work.
Yeah.
So who is influencing who?
Ah!
We have the same influences.
It's mutual.
Yeah, it's mutual.